Commissioner Tedesco?
Present.
Commissioner Volpe? Commissioner Clock? Here. Commissioner Wolowski?
Here.
Alternate Commissioner? Here. Alternate Commissioner Coviello? Alternate Commissioner Coles? Alternate Commissioner Ma? Here. Commissioner Santiago?
Here.
Vice Chair Polka?
Here.
Chair Hammersley?
And with that, we have a quorum. We did hear from Commissioner Volpe that she was not going to be here, as well as Commissioners or alternates Coviello and Coles. Why don't we see Kat for Commissioner Volpe? And with that, we have a quorum. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can all remain standing for a moment of silent reflection. All right. Hold on a moment. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes from our November 15, 2022.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
The motion, a second. Commissioner Clark with a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner discussion, is there any subcommittee reports? Peter?
We received a status update from Plan Metrics. They've been meeting with staff to look at, historic interpretations and experiences. They're going to be going really from the start down, module-based, start with residential, business, industrial, what have you. And they report that the first module will be ready for subcommittee to review in January. So that's good news. And so hopefully the second meeting in January, I'll probably be able to have a report on what that looks like, and maybe have something to show or the like. But it moves on, and they're meeting with staff, so progress is there.
All right, thanks, Peter.
Yep.
Anyone else? Seeing none, moving on to item number 8, public hearings. We have none, so we'll move on to item number 9. 9A, LePage Homes, Inc., subdivision application for a 12-lot subdivision property located at 347, 349, 389 Marion Avenue, zoned R2025 and an I1 S1337. This was tabled from 11/15. Looking for a motion to table this again.
Motion to table, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Wolowski with a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9B, release of a $565,000 subdivision bond Phase 2 security agreement development, Inc., Winchester Estates property located at 243 Churchill Street, zoned R40 S1334. Is this ready for action, Mr. Bone?
Yes, it is, Mr. Chairman. Basically, we're releasing it for item C, based on value of public improvements that are in place. The original subdivision bond was 1.6 million. If we were to add phase 1 and phase 2, it's just over $1 million. So we could release the security agreement for phase 2.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Nick?
You're skipping over B to do C.
We're on B.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the. No, I'm good then.
You're good?
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyone else?
I'm looking at one posted
Can
online.
we get a motion? Yes.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Solka, second.
Second.
Commissioner Tedesco. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Item 9C, reduction of a $1,617,000 subdivision bond Phase 1 LLC to $1,005,000. Said amount includes Phase 1 and 2 of public improvements, Levy Development, Inc., Winchester Estates, property located at 243 Churchill Street, zoned R40 S1334. Mr. Gopal, ready for action. Any discussion? Can we get a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion for reduction of S1334.
We have a motion, and a second.
Second.
Commissioner Santiago. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion Item 9D, 309 North Main Street LLC, request for a 5-year extension for subdivision approval, property located at 601 and 609 North Main Street, Zoned B, S1276. Mary Ellen, is this ready for action?
It is. As I mentioned in the memo, this is, it's first, actually, there's a site plan and a subdivision, that he's requesting the extension. It expires next year in 2023. He's coming in for 5 years. There's a new public act that went into effect last year that, authorizes these extensions up to 19 years. So if you approve this, this would be his final extension.
Okay. And I know we have the applicant in the audience tonight, and I think that we might have some developments occurring at that property at some point. We won't be premature in making any announcements, but we're hopeful optimistically. So with that, do we have any discussion or questions for members of the commission? Seeing none, we'll get a motion.
Mr. Chair, make a motion for the 5-year extension on S1276.
A second?
Second.
Mr. Chesko? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9E, 609 North Main Street LLC, request for a 5-year extension on site plan approval, property located at 601 and 609 North Main Street, Zone B, SBR 1476.1. This is the same property. Mary Ellen, ready for action?
It is, yes.
No further explanation, I don't believe. You just did.
Same
So,
statute.
so with that, is there any questions for members of the commission? If not, can we get a motion?
Make a motion for the 5-year extension on S1476.1.
All right, we have a second?
Second.
Peter? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9F, release of a 13,225 E&S bond, Lovely Development property located at 61 Westwood Road, Balmore Estates, zoned in a B and an R40 S1325. Mr. Capone, ready for action?
Ready for action, Mr. Chairman.
All right, any questions for members of the commission? Seeing none, can we get a motion?
Make a motion to approve S1325.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Pulaski with a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
You make the
Motion carries. Item 9G, release of a $10,000 maintenance bond, Lovely Development property located at 61 Westwood Road, Balmore Estates, Zone B and R40 again, S1325. Jim, ready for action?
Ready for action, Mr.
Any
Chairman.
questions for members of the commission? If not, can we get a motion?
Make a motion that we accept item 1325.
All right, Steve will ask you a motion, pulling an audible over here on the left. Do we have a second? Do we You're steadfast, Nick, I appreciate it.
I'd be honored.
Like it.
With that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 9H, Beth Smedic.
Yep.
Actually, know her subdivision application on a 1-lot re-subdivision, request for a final 90-day extension, property located at 126 Williamsburg Drive, zoned R40 1335. Mary Ellen, anything on this or sort of
No,
speak
it's
for
just the
itself?
final extension to file the Mylar.
Oh, for Mylar.
This is for a Mylar. Okay, we did approve this, I believe,
We did,
a couple
yes.
months ago.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any questions for members of the commission? Do we have a motion?
Make a
Mr.
motion.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept item number 1325.
Second.
Wow, you guys. That's a tandem over here. All
Fine.
right,
Fine.
What a team.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All those, any opposed? Motion carries. 9I, Lori Jamel, subdivision application on a 3-lot subdivision. First request for a 90-day extension, property located at 1422 Marion Avenue, zoned R2025 S1338. Mary Ellen, is this ready?
Ready for action.
Any questions for members of the commission? This is the revised.
Aha.
Any questions for members of the commission? Seeing none, can we get a motion?
Make a motion for the 90-day extension on S1338.
All right, we have a second.
Second.
God, I almost saw you talk down there. All right, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Administrative items, I'll just mention our next meeting is January 3rd. So we have the holidays off, which I wish everybody a happy holiday. We're joined here tonight by Alex Radone, who's, as I think most of you know, has taken a position with the town. Previously or currently the town attorney, depending on your perspective. Okay, currently the town attorney, but will be starting as a member of town staff shortly. And Alex will be joining us at our meetings on a regular basis. I think it's fair to suggest, which is something that I, as one, have long advocated for and am excited about his attendance. He might not be, his friend may not be, but, it is what it is. And the last thing that I'll mention under this item is that, as you may recall, I think it was in October, we sat down and had a conversation about an affordable housing plan that we submitted. Mary Ellen subsequently sent out a spreadsheet of those recommendations to folks. I think she's a couple back. She hasn't gotten the majority of them back. I'm one of those people who has not returned my homework assignment, but I asked her this week to send out a reminder to everybody. Sometime in January, my plan right now, depending on the agendas look like, sometime in January, I think that it's a good idea for us to come back and look at those and see what kind of things we can get a solid unanimous consensus on and get that ball moving. I also forwarded out a copy of an email exchange that was going on between a couple members of the town council with regards to certain recommendations that list the town council as the primary entity responsible for. And I took the position with that group to tell them that my thought is that they're probably best to wait for us to go through our process, which I hope to at least get moving again, as I said, at the beginning of next year. And then any recommendations that float out of there that the consultant lists as the town council being the primarily responsible for, that we would forward them a recommendation that they consider those in a positive light and move forward on those. But I thought that it would be best if everything generated out of this group as opposed to being spread out amongst a number of groups around town. So I think everybody saw that. I think I sent it to everybody. If I didn't, let me know, and I'll make sure that I get it to you. I don't know if anyone else has anything else that they want to add on this agenda item.
The only thing I want to mention to you guys is legislation that I talked about in the past last year. Starting next year, all companies are required to have 4 hours of training by the end of the year. There's some comments with the Connecticut Bar and CCM as to like what kind of trainings you can go to and things like that. So there will be more coming, but just so you know, there will be training opportunities, probably coming up in the next year. So as that moves forward, I'll keep you guys posted.
What's the time frame that we have to get that training done? Is it a
By
year?
the end of 2024, so by
So-
that year,
so-
a year.
So 2 years really, because we've got 2023, 2024.
No, I'm sorry, by 2024. I think it's the end of the year. I can double check that,
Okay.
but I'm not 100%.
Just a question, and to you, I think you said it, but there'll be those opportunities that require training or approved training
Correct.
options out to us.
Yep. Yeah, I think in March, too, I had sent you guys some pieces of the Connecticut book that I use quite a bit. That training, I believe, is going to be held in March. It's usually at Wesleyan, but I think they're going to do it virtually. So once that
That's like
circles
the
around.
all-day seminar thing.
Yeah, so I don't know if that'll count. We'll see how that goes, but there's certain subjects that they're required the training in. So we'll see how it goes, but
Does the land use training where the Yukon guy comes and does this thing, does that count or no?
I don't think so.
Darn.
So I attended that training that Mary Ellen just
I don't know.
taught.
Who knows? We'll see what comes out of next year.
I attended that
Yeah.
we'll call it training or that seminar that Mary Ellen's talking about, which was informative. And welcome to volunteer ism for your community. It's all appreciated. If now we're going to slap you with the need to go out there and do more. So, thank you to our state legislature and our governor. If this is where we are, but whatever. I won't go into any more opinion than that, I guess. But anyone else have anything they want to talk about?
On our website or on the emails, it came out and there was some training we're supposed to do.
For
Did you
computers?
see that on?
Oh, the no before thing,
Yeah.
that's computer stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and I kept signing on and never let me on their website, and it finally gave up letting me know and it said, "You've been taken off."
So
What the heck was that?
That's for
I did
staff.
I
but
did
we got-
talk to Mr. Baker about it, the IT guy, about it recently, because I get the same notifications. And he told me what Peter just said, that it's not anything that we need to concern ourselves
Oh, okay.
about. I think it's just a town-wide, or an email that goes out to everybody on the
Yeah.
town-wide email list, and so it's gonna continue to show up, and I'll just
Okay.
like delete it.
Right.
Because I had heard a couple of years ago that that was the same thing, that
Yeah.
we didn't need to worry about it. but,
Okay, good.
Anyone else?
Nope.
Anything? We have a number,
Yeah.
5 applications that are sitting out there waiting for us as the new year approaches. So we'll talk about those at all, Mary Ellen, not really, just kind of
I
self-explanatory.
mean, briefly,
think.
I can, so in the first 2 special permit and for the industrial buildings, I think will be on for January 17th meeting. It's, what is it, a 7,500 square foot, a 6,200 square foot, 2 industrial buildings there. The the Southwest LLC is a daycare being proposed off of West Street. And the last one is a dog grooming business that she's proposing off Old Turnpike.
That's that little strip mall when you first turn onto Old Turnpike from behind Walgreens there? Isn't that that little strip mall there?
So it is a little strip plaza, yeah.
I think it's like a 5
Yeah.
storefront
Yeah,
building.
there's,
Okay.
and there's a garage portion to the left. That's actually the portion of the building that she's proposing
Okay.
it in.
Oh, I see where, okay.
Do the neighbors know what she wants to do?
It's a business zone. So, but it is a special permit, so they will be notified.
All right. Anything else before we look for a motion to adjourn?
Oh,
Peter?
sorry, in industrial building, it's special permit buildings on one lot? Not because it's industrial, it's because you want to put 2 buildings on one lot, that's why.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. And with that, if we can get a motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
20 minutes. Good way to end the year.
Great.
That was
Mike,
almost as if you were excited.
Get out of here.
I got that at
Bye,
19 minutes,
2022.
Bob, but who's counting?